Welcome back to our channel. Introduction Overview of U.S. Currency Evolution. Importance of the 1-cent coin in American history. Historical context. The origins of the penny in the U.S. Evolution of the penny design since its inception in 1793 to 1980. As economic landscape in the U.S. recession and inflation trends. The significance of inflation during this era. Design details of the 1983 penny. Description of the design. Obverse and reverse. Abraham Lincoln's portrait. The Lincoln Memorial reverse pre-2010 design. Significance of the design elements. How and why Lincoln was chosen for the coin. Changes in the penny's composition over the years. Minting process. Overview of the U.S. Mint and its role. Specific minting processes for the 1983 penny. Differences in production methods compared to previous years. Variants in the 1983 penny. G. Philadelphia versus Denver. Mint rarity and collectability. Circulation numbers of 1983 pennies. Key varieties, if any, such as the 1983 D copper cent. Market demand for the coin among collectors. Noteworthy sales and auction results. The role of the penny in the economy. Analysis of the penny's purchasing power in the 1980s. Discussion on the debates surrounding the elimination of the penny. The economic effects of minting pennies versus rounding transactions. Impact on popular culture, coin collecting, and numismatic activities in the 1980s. The penny in art, literature, and symbolism during this time. Public sentiment about the penny and its relevance or obsolescence. Conclusion. Reflection on the 1983 penny's significance. Speculation about the future of the penny in U.S. currency. Final thoughts on the cultural legacy of the 1-cent coin. Sample sections. Introduction. The journey of the 1-cent coin in the United States began in the late 18th century. Representing the nation's early economic ventures, the penny is not merely a form of currency. It embodies the values, histories, and stories of the American populace. The 1983 1-cent coin stands out as a product of its time, crafted amidst economic shifts and evolving public sentiment about currency. Historical context. The penny has existed in various forms since 1793. Over the years, changes in its design, material, and size reflect broader trends in American society. By the early 1980s, the U.S. was experiencing significant inflation. The price of goods rose, which began to raise questions about the practicality of the 1-cent piece in everyday transactions. Design details of the 1983 penny. The 1983 penny retained the familiar design featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in place since 1959. The significance of Lincoln is manifold. He is a symbol of unity and resilience, traits embodied in the nation's history and spirit. Conclusion. While not exhaustive, this outline provides a framework for a comprehensive exploration of the 1983 1-cent coin. Each section could be expanded with detailed research, data, anecdotes, and analysis to reach the desired length and depth, resulting in a thorough understanding of the significance of the penny during a pivotal time in American history. For a more detailed engagement with specific topics or to create longer paragraphs for each section, please indicate which areas you would like me to elaborate on. The 1983 Lincoln 1-cent coins from the United States of dollars. And we can just see these, some kind of typical ones here. We say this one says, "In God we trust." At the top, liberty behind Lincoln. Right here we see there's the date, and down here we see the mint mark or the D for Denver. One of the things that's really interesting about 1983 is that they had all kinds of stuff going on, not just with the pennies, but with other coins. In 1983, they had just changed over from the copper-based coins with a little zinc in them to the zinc-based coins with a little copper over them. So let's take a look at that first, and that's kind of an interesting idea. In 1982, they switched over from the copper base to the zinc base. Before 1982, this is how much a penny weighed: 3.1 grams. So that's a 1981 95% copper, 5% zinc. In 1982, they switched over to a zinc-based coin, but they did it in the middle of the year, so you see this is the 1982. Remember that the coins before mid-1982 were all 3.1 or 3.11 grams. Let's see how much this 1982 is. Let's see how much this 1982 is. 2.51. The zinc-based coins are much less weight, so 1982 they switched over. And that carried on until through 1983, and here's a 1983. And what's that? 2.55, so 2.5 something. Most of these coins are going to be, so they changed the basis of the coin. They did another thing, and that is that they in 1983 the mint did not produce any special uncirculated sets for 1983, so for 1982 and 1983. No uncirculated coin sets from Philadelphia or Denver. They did, however, produce the uncirculated sets from San Francisco, which we call the proof sets because they have a different finish on them. So this is one down here on the right, way down on the right, and let's max that out a little bit, and we'll put these two together. So this one down here, you can see that there is an S right there. That's where the San Francisco Mint, this one. Two, now you can tell these are proof set, as I said, because they polish them differently. This kind of satin finish or the special finish on these, however, in 1983. For one of these special finished coins, they forgot to put some S's on for the dimes. And so there's a 1983 no S dime. So they changed the weight. They forgot to put an S on the dime, one of the dimes in 1983. And so that's incredibly valuable. And they did one other thing, and that is that, well, first let's look at this. This is the 1983 San Francisco Mint coin. It's just in great condition. You see how it's polished different on the face of Lincoln then. The background same. In God We Trust Liberty 1983s. You can get these in a kind of a muddy S like this one is, or a really clean S. The clean S's are worth more. You would have to get these from the proof set, however, and then we look right down here and we can see the initials really well. VDB Victor David Brenner, who was the engraver of these coins. We flip them to the back. We see this says United States of America at the top. Pluribus unum. There's Lincoln way down inside the Lincoln Memorial. Then 1 cent at the bottom, and this is where we start to have some interesting things going on, where this 1 cent is right down here. They made the coins at the San Francisco Mint, the one we just saw, they made about 3+ million. At the Denver Mint, which is this D right here, they made 6.5 billion. And at the Philadelphia Mint, which is the no mint mark one here, they made 7.75 billion. So 14 billion coins between the two of these mints, and when that happens, you get these kind of interesting issues, and the biggest interesting issue on the 1983 is the double die obverse. And what happens on a 1983 coin, you can see a little tiny bit of it here, but I think that might be damage rather than the double die. See how this E has a little bit of extra on it, but that's really not. And this E has a little bit extra on it. Maybe there's a little bit extra on the C. This isn't a full double die and not worth really any money. However, if you look on PCGs, you'll see one that looks like C this, and let's go down now. You cannot miss this double die. See the doubling here, it actually sticks out over the edge. See this, and what is beautiful, this is a PCGS, which is the coin grading service, has this coin on their site, and look at that. Oh, see the doubling on that. That coin is worth about $7,000 or $8,000, and when looking to buy 1983 U.S. 1 cent coins, Lincoln cents, you'll find them available through various sources, both online and in physical stores. Here's a breakdown of where you can typically find them. A very popular platform for buying and selling coins, including various grades and varieties of 1983 Lincoln cents. You'll find individual coins, rolls, and even error coins. It's important to check seller ratings and descriptions. Careful. Online numismatic retailers. Websites of established coin dealers often have inventories of U.S. coins, including those from 1983. These retailers may offer graded and certified coins, which can be valuable for collectors. PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC Numismatic Guarantee Corporation These websites offer information about coins including pricing and rarity and may have links to dealers. Physical stores, local coin shops. These stores specialize in buying and selling coins and are a great place to find specific coins and get expert advice. Pawn shops. Occasionally, pawn shops may have collections of coins including older pennies. Flea markets and antique stores. These can be a source for finding older coins. Although the condition and authenticity may vary, key considerations: condition. The condition of the coin significantly impacts its value. Look for terms like uncirculated boo or proof varieties and errors. Some 1983 Lincoln cents have errors such as double die varieties, which can make them more valuable. Grading and certification. Coins graded by reputable services like PCGS or NGC have been authenticated and assessed for their condition. This can add value and confidence to your purchase when buying coins, especially online. It's crucial too. Thanks for watching my videos and don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.